I found a way to access GPT-4 for free, and things sort of got out of hand. My post went viral.
Also, when, for instance, it was simulating a Linux machine. I don't know if you remember this.
Yes. I forgot about this. Hi, I'm Marie Alice Blete. I'm a software engineer. I work at Worldline Labs, and I'm here with Guillaume.
Hi, so my name is Guillaume. I'm working in the same team as Marie Alice in the Worldline Labs department as a research engineer, more specifically data scientist.
We're here to speak about AI and more specifically how we saw AI evolve in 2023. So Labs at Worldline, we're a big team, but both of us specifically work on AI, and we're so he's a data scientist and I'm more a software engineer, so we're a team where we mix research and engineering. So what do you think about what happened this year?
Yeah, so actually a lot of things did happen. Like if we go back into the past, so AI was mostly what we would call discriminative AI. So mostly classifying things or trying maybe to forecast a new thing into the future. And now what we can see is a transition towards what we call generative AI, where it's more about generating new content. So in particular images and text. And I would say that the advances into the generative AI field has been very, very advanced compared to what we could have hoped in before. Like I think that ChatGPT it's not something that we expected before a couple more years, even though the technology was already developed several years before.
Yeah, and you know, we have been working on AI since many years. Yeah. Well, not ourselves, but our team. Yeah. And well, we're a payment company, so the first application for AI and payment company would be fraud detection. And we actually have a data set on Kaggle for fraud detection on credit card transactions. And Amazon, actually AWS, there's also a demonstration of their fraud detection on our credit card payment data set.
I even think that it is like the most popular data set on Kaggle, right?
Correct,
like
yes.
If we look at the number of likes or stars
yes.
that it received.
And if I'm not wrong, our team also worked on natural language processing. Yeah. Before ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. So because of course now everyone is focused on ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is not the first chatbot. So we were already working on chatbot-like applications, but in the past it was more so as I said it was more using a discriminative AI kind of techniques. So things like, for instance, sentiment analysis, where you try to see whether a message is positive, negative. And for instance, when you wanted to answer questions, it would be more like trying to find a particular extract that would answer a question in an existing documentation. And so that means also that the answers could not be reformulated naturally, and it was more difficult to have a conversation-like application. This is where now we can upgrade what we already did in the past using the last advances, and in particular large language models as well.
But all this work, it really helped us, I think, jump into the ChatGPT story. I think it was released in 30th November, and we looked at our history of chats together. And 5 days later, I sent a message, hey, look at this.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, wow, and I say, wow. And from then, we really tested it very, very quickly and made our first POCs with it. And I think that our team's knowledge with NLP, natural language processing, really helped us jump on this.
Yeah, because the underlying neural network architecture. So it was already developed several years before, and we were using it. Not exactly in the same form as ChatGPT, of course. It was more, for instance, BERT model. But and it was more used for, yeah, as I said, discriminative stuff like classification, receiving some text as an input and trying to classify it into different thing. And so ChatGPT is like a natural extension of that. It's more like you just add a decoder part to have it generate stuff. And so thanks to, as you said, because we have worked on that in the past, it was easier for us to go beyond and build on the new things.
Okay, and what was the I don't know, the aspect, just the thing that made you just go, wow, this is great?
Yeah, so I would say, so yeah, first being able to see a chatbot like ChatGPT, like, you know, it's the kind of things that you imagine when you think about AI, like the fact that you can talk in natural language and there's really this conversation that is going on. So first, it was mind-blowing in itself. I think that one example that was very that we found very impressive, it was also when, for instance, it was simulating a Linux machine. I don't know if you remember this.
Yes. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Well, yeah, our team, we work sometimes from home, we work sometime in the office, and I remember very well that when we discovered this, when ChatGPT simulating a Linux machine, we were all standing up in the corridors. Look at this! It's
Mind-blowing.
It's mind blowing. Yeah. Where we usually, you know, sit at our desks and do our work, and we communicate, of course, but like suddenly we were all up in our chairs and sort of running to and forth, saying, "Wow, this is incredible!" And just after that, as you know, as a joke to my colleagues and friends, I did a LinkedIn post where I used this to sort of fetch from GitHub GPT-4 and have it run on ChatGPT. So of course it doesn't work, it's all a simulation, but I did this demonstration in the LinkedIn post, and I captioned it, wow, I found a way to access GPT-4 for free. And things sort of got out of hand. My post went viral, and it wasn't at all my intention to make people believe that something that is not true. It was really just a joke, and yeah. Well so I think it's also proves that it's difficult to understand how ChatGPT works. Even people who are in the domain really got not intentionally, but got tricked, not on purpose, but they still got tricked, and you know, it's the proof that ChatGPT is really convincing for us humans, and that even though we know how it works, our minds, our brain really projects things on it, and
yeah. Also, something else that was mind-blowing is when we were seeing people using ChatGPT beyond just being just a chatbot. So, you know, all these applications like AutoGPT, or more recently you have also AutoGen, I think. We had this paper also, which was generative agents. So all of these applications, they took the idea of the large language model, but you used the large language model more like a reasoning, as a reasoning engine in a way, or a planning engine. And so, for instance, with AutoGPT, the idea was that you could ask you could ask a question, and then AutoGPT would decide, okay, so what should I do to answer this query? Okay, so I should do all these different steps, and in those steps, it could also interact with tools like external APIs. And personally, I found this really impressive because the ability to be able to decompose a task into subtasks, and for each subtask also think about which tool can be used, and so the ability to add tools also to build agent-like application. I was not expecting that from a model which was only trained to predict the next word. Because basically this is what an LLM is doing, just predicting the next word.
And I think you have a demonstration with agents. Can you?
Yeah, so I can show you a demonstration which is using a library which is called LangChain, so quite popular library, and it makes it really easy to make a really simple agent. So I can show you the notebook right now.
Okay.